Okay, welcome to our Think Time membership live Q&A. I'm so excited that you are here today. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Let me know where you are coming from. Let me see. Okay, welcome to our Think Time membership. See if I can confirm. There we are. Okay. We're live. All right, so I'm going live on YouTube and in the Zoom room. So I'm going to try to monitor the chat and answer questions that we have. I'm so excited about this launch. It's been really fun. And I think that I have been able to just really zero in on the things that really matter to you, which is number one, finding out what matters to you. I think sometimes life can get so busy that your dreams and goals go to the wayside. And yes, you're ticking things off the list, but are they the right things? And if you're at the end of the day wondering, am I getting the right things done? That's the first thing we're going to solve in the think time process for you, giving you that space and time and clarity to be clear about where you're going and is it in the right direction? Are these the types of things only I can do? Am I living my unique purpose? And so these are the deep questions we ask at Think Time, and we don't shy away from the hard ones. With regard to the membership, I like to open this up 4 times a year with intention. And so what I'm doing this time around is I'm adding bonuses. If you sign up during the bonus launch, then you will be able to get some extra bonuses. So let's start with that. What do I get when I join the Think Time membership? So joining the membership is it's really awesome. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to help you get clear on your dreams and what really matters to you. And so I want you to just imagine a life where you're fully present, you're in control, and you're thriving in every aspect. Of course, I can't promise the moon, but as an ADHD leader, you deserve to own your life. You deserve to balance your success, your relationships, and even things like financial freedom. You may be pursuing becoming debt free, but you can't find the time to achieve that goal, to even look at a budget. Well, that's where the time is going to impact your money. Your focus is going to impact your money. Your success, perhaps you're successful in one area of life, but you'd like to find out how to also make sure that things like the time with your kids, your parents, your extended family that just really isn't going to be there forever, that you're able to find time for that as well. This is what we're at Think Time. I call it a whole brain, whole life, high performance planning process. That's the long version. And so that's what we do at Think Time. We really help you cast a vision for the life that you truly desire, and then help you build structures around what you really want. We don't do structure for the purpose of holding you in, but for the purpose of really moving you forward toward what matters most to you. Okay, and let's see. Okay, go ahead and put your questions in the chat as they come up, and I will add those to the ones I have here as well. With the Think Time membership, I open it 4 times a year with these bonuses. And the things that tend to get in the way of the ADHD leader are different than the typical productivity programs. And so some of the obstacles that you may face, and I'm going to start with the biggest one that has come up this year in the membership. It is the obstacle of emotional regulation. And so with the ADHD leader, you have a different set of issues than the typical leadership program and productivity program. Just with the way your brain is wired. And if you want to learn more about this, I'll put the link in this video to my webinar of Focus, Flow, and Filters in Your Future. It's the way that your brain is wired. It's very important that you know how to manage that emotional side so it doesn't short circuit your highest executive functioning. And so we talk about that in the membership as well. Another obstacle you may find in your living your dreams and goals in a distracting world is that you tend to be a perfectionist, and that may not come across as something you're aware of about yourself with regard to being a person who has ADHD, but people with ADHD tend to be perfectionists. And so sometimes that can lead to unnecessary procrastination, not struggling to start something until you can do it perfectly. There are just unique problems and obstacles that come with your unique design. And we address that in the membership as well. Another uniqueness is that you may think that if you just work harder, you'll be able to achieve your goals. And if you have ADHD and you're highly creative, creativity is the highest research trait within the ADHD adult. If you are highly creative and you just work harder, you are very likely to work hard, but you're going to go like 2 steps toward one thing, pause, go 2 steps toward another thing, pause, 1 step over here, 3 steps over here, 1 step, and you exhaust your energy in a lot of directions. Looking back, and I know you know what I'm talking about, you look back and you say, well, I worked so hard. Why don't I have results? And so that's a unique obstacle we address in the membership as well. What do you do when you have a million directions you want to go in, but working harder causes you to not only be more exhausted, but also to land empty at the end of the day? And so then you're struggling with regret and not gratitude, but you know you worked really hard. And so it's just very confusing. So, how do you have a productivity system that works for you, designed with your creative brain in mind? We talk about those obstacles in the membership. Um, so if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling overwhelmed, the constant demands of life are coming in, whether you have a plan for them or whether you don't, whether you have energy for them, whether you don't, whether you have focus for the right things or whether you don't. The demands are going to keep coming. I call it the tyrannical to-do list. And if I don't use my strategies, when I start to click things off my list, I end up with a longer list at the end of going down my list. When I use my strategies, I know precisely the most important things I need to focus on that will get me the farthest, the fastest. Um, and then, I'm able to do less and to achieve more of the right things when I use my think time process. And that's the process that I teach every day in the think time membership. And so while many ADHD high achievers struggle with modulating focus, I'll use the word modulating instead of maintaining, because it's, we go from this hyper focus to this struggling to get focus. And again, we talk more about that in the webinar, Focus, Flow, and Filters, in your future. So if you don't know where the link, if you're watching this live and you want to watch that first, you can email me at cwilson@think-time.com and I can send you that webinar. I'm really excited about it because it gets into the neuroscience of the brain and why you want to go deeper and deeper and deeper when you want to find that focus. But many ADHD leaders do struggle to have this way that doesn't feel constricting, but allows you to be free to pursue what matters most. And so this helps you to not end your days with that frustration and that unfulfilled potential you have. There are things that you're meant to do, and you're just struggling to find out where's the time for them, right? And so those are the types of things we're working with in this membership. And so if you're in the right place, if you wake up in the morning and you have got a flood of ideas and good intentions, but by the time you're going to bed, your brain is just completely still overwhelmed. You've got 40 tabs open. Drop a like a little light bulb into the comment section if you have 40 tabs open right now at this minute. And you can't find the one that's playing the music. It's like, where's the music coming from? If you go to complete a task at your house, you walk into another room and you're just like, what was I doing? You're in the right place. Okay. I call myself like an absent-minded professor turned mom of 6 kids. Like, it's hard, when you have this really creative, absent-minded brain, how do you achieve your dreams and goals in such a distracting world with such a distracting mind? I don't always say that in my wording, but in a distracting world with a distracting mind. The important things are slipping through the cracks while the urgent And the unimportant things are just taking up your time. And you know, these things are right here, right in front of you. You're trying to get to the important things and you just can't. And I remember that feeling, I just remember one of my kids when they were like 9 months old reaching out for me. And I'm like, 1 second, I've got the clutter to take care of. And I mean, no, that's the opposite. I'm there to parent that child. The clutter is not the most important thing, but I felt like I had to take care of whatever that was at the moment. And so that's the type of feeling I don't want you to live with every day. When you know there's something very important, like eye contact with your little child, and then these things are not as important, but they're still taking up your time. So at Think Time, I show you my process for the ADHD leader, the ADHD brain, ADHD adult. You don't even have to consider yourself a leader. You can consider yourself a heartfelt person with important things to do who needs to find out how to do it in a distracting world, and that's fine. What you'll find over time is when you pause and you are seeing into the future and you're communicating to those around you, you'll end up becoming a leader. And so the thing that I find heartbreaking is watching um, other people build the things. It's like you want to build them, but then you're seeing other people build them. You want to keep up with your family life and thrive and have the best birthday parties and the most meaningful moments with your family. And you see other people doing it, but they're not helping, you're not seeing it in your life. Savoring those slow moments by the fire, whatever those slow moments look like for you, hiking in the mountains, sitting by a fire, going out to dinner and having a many, 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 many course meal, whatever your version of slow is. Um, Knowing that other people are doing that every day and you just can't get to it, that's very frustrating. And so I don't want that for you. And I don't want you to think that it is because you're lazy or you're broken. And I promise you, if you hang out here long enough, you will know I do not think you're lazy. I know you're working harder than anyone. And it's my intention to help you have your hard work for you. I want you to know there is a way to clear the mental clutter, to focus on what matters most, and to finally feel calm, confident, and proud of how you spend your days. And that's exactly why I'm here to help you discover. So, the simple framework that I've put together within the membership is a dream, decide, do, and review membership. And I developed this process 10 years ago, and then I have been adding and learning nuances to make it even better over time. So, the process was in Think Time Planner, and that is foundational to our process. And we get together and guide you step by step in the membership in this process. For anyone who's wanting to go from, for me, it was I didn't have any confidence that I could achieve a goal, like set a goal and achieve it, to using some very, very simple tweaks in my technique. I was able to have confidence that I could set a goal and achieve it. And so I want that for you as well. And so anyone who's wanting to make that transition um, from not being able to set that goal and achieve it to being confident you can, that is what I want for you. And so I've developed this over time. We launched the membership, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago, and then we added the live guided dreaming process, the guided planning process a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. And so it's the group coaching piece of this is it's working. It is so great. So when you join, you will have the exact process that I use to manage my homeschooling, my life, my business, and all the things that I do in my life. I use this process every day to manage it. And the people in the membership, everybody has different priorities and different values, and you come in with your values and your priorities and build a path forward to help you achieve them in a distracting world. And what we help you do is to get the right things done, get more of the right things done in less time. It's not about checking things off the list. It's about having the right list. And it's really not about just getting more done or driving yourself into the ground. It's about really nurturing your energy, your focus, and your motivation toward what matters most. People in my membership tell me that they are saving time, they are saving money, they're living their lives on purpose, they're making time for relationships, they're taking time to look into the future and create a vision that people want to follow. Inside, they're feeling clarity, peace, confidence, presence. Life is simply easier when you engage these paths forward. And so, again, I always add whenever I can't promise a specific result for a specific person. This is the general feedback that I'm getting from my members and the users of my process. Um, I want you to feel hope. One of the things that is really important to me is I want you to know that no matter how your life has gone up to this point, if you've tried everything, you know, then you're in the right place because you know that the traditional methods don't work for you. And I would just say like they're just not designed with your brain in mind. And there are many reasons for this. Again, we cover that in the membership. But what I want you to know is that even if you can't look back on a history of being productive, we live here from our imagination and creativity. And so, as a person, there are two types of people in the world. There are those who are going to repeat the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. And there's another group of person that says, I'm not going to be the 90%. I'm going to work hard to be the 10%. That's what we do here in the membership. How do you become the kind of person that doesn't repeat the same mistakes over and over again? You are the kind of person who is able to live from the hope and the imagination that there could be a different way. And what is that? And what you do is you create that clarity and feed it to your brain using the methods that I teach inside the membership. And so, whether it's important or whether it's unimportant, in my perspective, the brain moves toward what is clear. And so, I want to make sure I'm getting to your questions. Okay, so who is in the membership? So we have members from 3 countries currently. We've got 2 countries in Europe and the United States, the UK, Norway, and the United States. And then in the United States, we've got California, Pennsylvania, Texas, Tennessee. I think those are all the states. And so we are a small group at this time, and it's just people from across the world. And the neat thing for me is watching the same results happen in completely different cultures on opposite sides of the world. 2 members told me that they increased their satisfaction with their personal productivity by, I think they doubled their satisfaction rate within 2 weeks. So it's just some of the results you're going to find are very, very quick. Others take time to add in, and that's the part that takes years, but the immediate shifts can happen very quickly. So when you come into the membership, how is it designed? So the one I'm talking about right now is a group coaching program. If you are interested in something that is more like a mastermind with one-on-one attention and a small mastermind group, email me at cwilson@think-time.com. When I have enough interest, I'm going to start that group. But right now we've got a group coaching program that it is working really well. So what happens when you start is you will be introduced to 4 areas. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys to look at, which I'm certain I can. I think I've got it over here. Right here. Okay, so let me make this large and I will share my screen. Wait a minute, where'd it go? It was right there. Okay. Share my screen with you, and it's this one right here. Okay, so when you join, you will have the members only section, and this is what I call the purpose portal. So this is where you come as a member and you'll have 4 different functions. One is guided dream planning sessions. And this right now, if it were only this, I think it's 100% worth every bit of any investment that you put in with your time or in your money. All of it is the results from this guided planning session is wonderful because you don't even have to learn the program. You don't have to do anything. You just show up. And Coach Becca or myself, we will guide you through dream planning sessions. And so you'll have your think time, which you'll receive as a member. You'll be able to go to the store and pick out your think time planner. And we will meet 1 hour a week, 2 hours every month, 4 hours a quarter. And then once a year, coming up actually next Friday, is our yearly planning session. And so if you join for nothing else but to get the yearly planning session, which is our second bonus, um, I would recommend joining now because that is going to be it's good. It's my first time to do it with you guys. I'm so excited. So we have 8 hours set aside, and I want you to continue and do your full 24 hours. But we're going to do from 9 to 5 here in Nashville, a guided dream planning session. The second thing that you'll get is an access window into the timeline tutorials. And so you can see that here. When you click this, this will take you to guided sessions where I lead you through it. So if you want on demand, if you'd rather just plan by yourself, and yet you still don't want to like take the course or read anything, you just want to be guided through the process, you just click timeline tutorials and I show up and I say, okay, now open your planner to the monthly section. Okay, now you're going to review last week. What went well? What didn't go well? What are you grateful for? And then let's look forward to next week and ask yourself, what if there were no obstacles? What is it that I truly want? What does wild success look like for me in this time? And so we'll walk through basically if I were with you and we had a session and it was an hour long, that's what the timeline tutorials are there. And that way, if you have an odd schedule and you plan at midnight, I don't know when you do your weekly planning or early in the morning, I certainly will not lead you then. Whenever it is that you like to do your plans, and it's on the go. If you can't make that time that week and you miss one of the weekly planning sessions, but you still need to do it, you just open up your timeline tutorials and that's there for you as well. The other two aspects of the membership are number one, the leadership lab, and number two, the growth gallery. So the leadership lab includes dripped laser coaching lessons. So the first thing you're going to get when you come into the membership is an access immediately to 5 5-minute core content videos. And this just overviews where are we going in this membership. And it's going to cover the 6 pillars of what we cover, and you'll have that immediately. You can just listen to 5 5-minute sessions. It's going to probably blow your mind, the transformational ideas just in that one core content section. But we don't stop there. 7 days later, you'll start getting bundles. And at day 7, you'll get your first monthly bundle. And that will include 4 or 5 15-minute only coaching sessions. Something I'm very passionate about is no homework. So when you show up, you do the work, close the book, it's done. You don't have to move throughout your life and feel behind because you didn't get homework done. I ask you to set aside 15 minutes once a week to do your leadership lab lessons. I call them laser coaching lessons because they're quick, they're pointed, and you're actually doing things. And so if the lesson is on lead and lag measures, for instance, that's one of the lessons. So you're going to be looking at what are you measuring in your life? And you're going to take 15 minutes of time and just give consideration to, am I measuring the right things so that I'm going to the right place? What are my lead measures? What are my lag measures? And like a lead measure, for instance, is these are the inputs that you're putting in. The lag measures are the outflows. And so if you're constantly weighing yourself every morning, and that's what you're doing for your weight loss program, that's going to be ineffective because you're measuring the results instead of measuring how much water did I drink? What was I eating? How many workouts did I have? So if you're measuring those things, the lag measures, those measures that fall behind, will come after you, but you pay attention and you focus on the lead measure. So it's a way of focusing your attention. So there's a quick miniature lesson, but that's an example. If it's a lesson on automation, I'm actually going to encourage you to look at your life. What can I automate? Can I automate groceries? Can I create a system for delegation? There are different things. And so one skill, one week at a time. I cover a variety of topics that will help you to drive your focus, your energy, and your motivation toward what you want. And so I'm not telling you what you need to want. This is all about you discovering what matters most to you. It's a process I've developed to help you discover what matters most to you. And then bit by bit, 15 minutes a week, guys. It's not that much, you know? It's like literally 15 minutes a week. You tag it to lunch or you do it, Wednesday at lunch, I do this one lesson. Um, that's it. And then, but what happens at the end of the year? You've had 52 targeted skills that you've put into your life, one bit at a time. And so my goal for this membership is that it is never overwhelming. Everything is as small as it can be and as effective as it can be. And the members have told me, Christine, I don't know how you pack so much value in such a short period of time, but that's been my goal. And apparently, I've gotten feedback that that does work. And the fourth thing is your growth gallery. And so this is going to be where I store the recordings of webinars, of session archives, and replays of who knows what and more. So there's going to be, we have our third Thursdays, we have our weekly Wednesdays, we have our monthly Mondays, we have our quarterlies, I think is the best term I've got for them right now. And then we'll have the yearly sessions. And so that we also have guest speakers sometimes, which has been a while since I've had a guest speaker, but I was just thinking about some today I wanted to ask to come in. But there's just going to be a whole host. So think of it like your training library. That's the growth gallery. So this is what you'll see in the membership. When you are coming into the membership, what that will look like, I have Teachable and Zoom are the two platforms that I use. And so those are currently what I'm using right now. And you'll just use those to access what you need. And so I'll give you a password to the members portal and allow you to see how to navigate the different lessons. But okay, let's see what other questions we have here. We've got, let's see, I can't quite, okay, there they are. Okay. So what makes think time different from regular planners or productivity systems? So a lot and not a lot. So on the one hand, I would say in a nutshell, regular planners and productivity systems use two things, words and lines, and they only use the planner block. And so what think time does is it actually uses more parts of the brain. So we're using envisioning, imagination, and actually creativity. So you'll see me using paints. And I'm sure you're like, why are you doing this? Well, if you don't know why I'm doing this, go to my webinar, Focus, Flow, Filters in Your Future, because getting into that creative part of your brain unlocks so much potential. And that's what we do is we added creativity to productivity. And so usually you have like envisioning seminars and you spend $3,000 for one weekend to go envision something, right? But then it goes on your shelf. And so what I have here is I've developed a process where you do $3,000 for an entire year, and that's where you are going to be envisioning and dreaming and achieving, and it's actually getting into your life. So the calendar was actually the 13th tool that I added to the system, and it is a dream, decide, do, and review system where you are always casting vision, doing, and then reviewing. How did it go? And so I don't want you to use any pressure, any system built on pressure or willpower. This is built on neuroscience and visual thinking. And so this kind of primes your brain to increase its opportunity to want to follow through on your goals. It's really like engaging that really powerful part of you that just can't stop yourself. And we want to place that in the right places. And so we've got some techniques to help you increase your opportunity to use that hyper focus in the right direction. So it doesn't pull you off, it pulls you on. Okay. I bought planners before and never finished them. How will this be different? So if you're in the right place, this is you. So you've bought planners before, and the risk of Trying a process is not, I want you to know that I really see you, and I know it's not only just an inconvenience to try something at this point. It just feels like I don't have what it takes to try something else. And I can't possibly have this not work again for me. And so I recognize that this is a risk to even try. And that's why I try to show you as much as possible, and even just getting the dream sheet at think-time.com and trying that on a goal. If you're thinking about it tonight and you've got like 24 hours to see if you're going to get the two bonuses of the I don't think I mentioned it on this video, but the two bonuses are the 8-week live coaching course worth $3,000. That's going to start next Monday. And that's the first bonus. The second bonus is our live coaching, and that's coming in next Friday. And so these are two huge bonuses, like $4,500 worth of bonuses for, yes, a fraction of the cost monthly. So I want you to really I want to help you get there and try it. And I want you to know that even if it doesn't work for you, that we're learning so much about the brain right now. I don't want you to give up. Okay. Like we've learned more in the last 5 years than the last 500. And so expect your answer to come if think time isn't. Like just live as if someone's going to discover it soon. I don't know what your problems are, and I can't promise that they'll be solvable, but I did work with brain injured patients after graduate school, and I did notice a difference in the ones who were like, I'm going to find my answers, and the other ones who got discouraged. And so I really want to encourage you to live from that place of imagination. What if I could? And instead of I never have, but what would happen if I could, and get that clarity, giving it to your brain. So yes, it's a risk. I appreciate the difficulty in even trying it, but I have designed this system for brains like ours: creative, intuitive, sensitive, ADHD prone. So the membership includes guided coaching, visual prompts, dream mapping, and weekly community sessions. So you really leave very little to chance. I don't want you to feel left alone with a blank paper or an open planner. I want to guide you to clarity and action. Okay. Um, Let me see here. Okay, I think I'll try one more question. Okay, do I need to be artistic for Think Time's visual tools to work? Absolutely not. Stick figures are completely welcome. It is not about art. It's about activating your brain's a reticular activating system. So really you're actually painting, priming your brain to see what you're looking for. So it's filtering distractions as distractions, and opportunities are coming to your mind. And so your brain is going to be looking for opportunities or obstacles based on what you tell it to look for. And if you don't tell it anything, it is more likely to look for obstacles. If you do tell it where you're going, then it's going to be looking for opportunities. You're just getting in charge of this process. Okay, let me add one more. Okay, is this coaching, therapy, or just a planner? Okay, so this is the Think Time membership community is a whole brain growth system. It's a whole system all in one for you. You're going to find pieces of education. You're going to have pieces of guided coaching and practice, planning and accountability. And then you have a community support of like-minded people who get it. And so we are literally going to be covering tomorrow in our monthly meeting email. Like what happens when your email gets completely overwhelmed and overloaded. That's what we're covering tomorrow. That's something that we deal with because we are very open to opportunities. We don't like to say no to things. What if there's something in that email that we need? So we cover things that really resonate with the people in the membership. So I do want to be clear, this is not therapy. So I am an LPC in the state of Texas. I lived there for 2 decades and my license is there, and I need to move it to Tennessee. Um, I'm not here to diagnose you whether you have ADHD or not ADHD. I will not be telling you. Um, I will say that I have seen this to be transformational in a variety of people's lives. And so the people that I have seen it to be most transformational in are people who are mission minded. So think of if you are a person who has a deep purpose, a meaningful mission. And yet you tend to have a brain that it just either like gets really, really hyped up or you can't get it to move, then you're in the right place. Oh my goodness. Okay, one more question. I'm sorry. This is a good one too. So how soon will you see change? So most members feel a significant change even within a week. Like from week one, there's a significant difference in their feelings of efficacy of I know what to do now. Just finally from getting those swirling thoughts into visual clarity. Okay. So what happens with the power of coming over time is the clarity is one piece, but building a life that supports it with the structure is the other piece. And so you can go to my website and start drawing your dreams, get a napkin and start drawing things and watch that immediate change. For me, that was amazing. What I did after that is I filtered everything I'd studied about productivity, leadership, performance, filtered that through, and I took the top pieces from those areas and filtered it through the visual creative side of the brain first. There are a lot of really cool reasons for that. Again, we'll talk more about that in the membership. What are some members saying? I have had some fascinating feedback, but I think some of my favorites are, I finally feel present in my own life, and I can't put a price tag to that. So doing the same activities, but feeling present, feeling alive, feeling purposeful and hopeful, that's the kind of difference I think time can help you, can help many people achieve. Um, Personal satisfaction in productivity is up. And I think it's the feeling of feeling good about what you're doing. And so at the end of the day, you're not looking back with regret, you're looking back with gratitude. And that's really what a lot of people tell me. Again, I don't promise results, but that's what I'm hearing. Um, Calm is probably the biggest word I hear. And so when people come in, they feel overwhelmed. When they learn the system, they can find calm by moving through the process and have that clarity of these are the very few things I need to do that are the most important. And well, there's definitely more to cover, and we'll cover more in the next session of Q&A. I've got some more questions here, but I need to um, wrap this one up. And so I want you to know clearly how to go about joining the membership. When you can go to think-time.com and click. I've got a banner on it right now, and just click join now. And then if you come later and this video is still up on YouTube, then I would encourage you to, I think there should be a button that says membership. So go to think-time.com, click membership, and there should be a join button as well. If it's not during the launch week, the bonuses may not be there, but I just would encourage you to join as soon as you can. If this is feeling aligned, I can't think of a more important task to do. Again, if you do want the more individual custom version, it does take more to build the structure around that, but I am willing to create that. I'm actually really close to creating that piece, and I'd like to have a few people and show me the interest in that. So if you're interested in that and you would like to start knowing that you can meet with me once a month as well and make sure you are personally right on target, then go ahead and email me at cwilson@think-time.com. But to join, you can go ahead and click there. And then if you do sign up at the yearly rate, that's going to help you save 2 months. And so I really think there's a big benefit to joining at a yearly rate, because you just say, this is what I'm doing this year. And so when you say, this is what I'm doing, you just start to move life around it. And so I've just been recently introduced to quantum mechanics and Einstein's theory, where he had empty space, and then you move like a planet in the middle of empty space, and then everything kind of moves around it, or a sun or a star, and then things move around it and you get rotation. And so that's really what I want for you. I want you to be able to put this into your life, and this is something that is going to help you get that traction and momentum in and across all the areas of your life. And so Definitely, if you have remaining questions, please reach out at cwilson@think-time.com. And I look forward to answering you. I really love to get your emails. So if you have any questions or comments of any type, let me know, and I will do my best to get back with you as soon as possible. So I hope you join, and I hope that I get to see you not only at the 8-week course coming up, but also at our yearly planning session. October is my favorite time to join because you have a running start before the new year. And so my hope is that at January 1st, you have not only just enjoyed the most peaceful and productive holiday season ever, full of purpose-filled moments, but that you also are moving into January 1st in motion. You're not sitting there on January 1st thinking, what do I want to do this year? You made that plan in October. And at January 1st, you are enacting what you want to do. And so we'll start with a yearly plan, then we're going to break it down into the quarter and then the month. And then by January 1st, you're going to be meeting with Coach Becca and doing your weekly plan. It's going to be great. So, yep, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you'll join. Click the link in this video wherever you need to join monthly or yearly. Both are great and both will get you your best results. Okay, I'll see you on the inside.